Hi everyone. Just got done with my workout. But I wanted to talk about my experience with intermittent fasting, something that Desmond obviously knows a lot about and talks a lot about. I thought I would give a good, maybe my point of view of how effective it is and generally speaking, my experience with it. I've done it for at least a couple months now. The part where, supposedly the cells are able to start to focus more on renewing themselves and kind of getting rid of the old cells that are not long functioning at its highest effectiveness. That was really what got me to try it. And so, you can imagine that's not something you can really measure. And so that's the baseline. And I can't say for sure if I'm less sick because I'm just generally not seeing as many people because I'm still sheltering in place and staying at home all the time. That's probably part of it. But I think in normally, like Desmond said, I do get sick quite often, and I haven't gotten sick quite as much. I've gotten sick one time, and typically in the last couple of months, I typically get sick at least once a month. So, take it for what it is. I feel like if once I talk about all the other stuff, if it's not, to me, it's not really, there's not anything detrimental that's happening, then I feel comfortable continuing, right? And I think every one of us needs to make that a decision on your own, because it might not work for everybody, to be honest. And so the other parts that I wanted to talk about is I think one of the things that, regardless of whether you believe in intermittent fasting doing the wonders of cell like regeneration and that process, I think one thing that is disregarded sometimes is just how effective a regimen can be. And with intermittent fasting, I'm doing 16-hour fast with 8 hour eating window. And so it's actually quite doable and achievable, because you essentially skip one meal and you get two. And for a lot of people, I think, especially working people, you sometimes tend to skip breakfast anyway. And so for me, it wasn't too hard. I did used to eat breakfast before I started this 16-8 fast every day thing. But I found it to be not too difficult. But the regimen is like, you just can't eat as much as you could in a longer period of time. And I think calorie wise, it restricts you calorie wise in that sense. So in that just purely by restricting the number of calories and the time allowed to eat, you're able to actually intake less. And so depending on your goals, whether you're trying to bulk, get bigger, or get smaller, get skinnier, it may or may not work for you. The other thing that, like, going in to it, that I had concerns about was, like, I was always, and this is not like right before, I didn't feel this way right before I started, but there was a point in time where I equated hunger with lack of energy. And I think that's a really important point to stress, is that I think many of us think that if I feel hungry, it means that my body is completely out of energy and I need to replenish myself with energy by eating. That is kind of like the biggest misconception, I feel like. And it's a lot of studies and a lot of articles and health blogs, I guess, will say, listen to your body, and if you're hungry, then eat, kind of thing. I think generally speaking, that works if you don't really have a goal of becoming more fit. And so, back to the point, which is that hunger doesn't necessarily mean you're out of energy. And so once you become aware of that those two do not equate, then it's much easier to use your mind to overcome it, I feel, for me anyway. So, if I start to feel hungry, and in my head I know that like I'm not gonna die if I don't eat for another couple hours. It's not detrimental to my body. Then that kind of just opened the gate for me, because I felt like I wasn't doing anything bad for my body. And I think generally speaking, we've all kind of might have been subliminally or subconsciously taught that when you don't want to starve yourself. So yeah, I think for me, once I got over that fact, it was like a lot easier to do. I definitely think that I eat less, and that I generally do feel more efficient with my human processes. I have felt more energy. I have been able to keep my workout schedule without dropping off as much. And so, I think I'm observing, it's something that we should all do, is keep a log or keep a mental note of how you feel at all times. I never expected this to instantly change my life, but it has kept me in check. It has kept me to a schedule that is doable, and honestly, it is just quite convenient. I don't know about you, but I'm not thinking about cooking all the time, and I certainly don't want to go out because it's expensive and it's high in calories and usually sodium. And so, I think just if anything at all, it's been able to keep my life in a regular schedule, and I think that's the environment that helps people develop habits the best. And so that's my 2 cents on my experience with intermittent fasting. I do a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. I have tried sparingly 18 to 20 hours fasting. I don't skip any days, so weekends and weekdays I do the same schedule. I have found it to be generally easy to do with a working schedule. I'm sure a lot of you who have 9 to 5s, office jobs. You skip one meal and it's literally almost 16 hours combined with your sleep time. So try it out, and then like I said, definitely monitor, because monitor your senses, your feelings, because it might not work for everybody. So hopefully you found that helpful. I will continue to do it and give you maybe a half year update, and then I'll go from there. See ya.